Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to walk through this problem from Pramp to validate IP address. So a valid IP address, if and only if it is in the form of x.x.x.x, where x is a number ranging from 0 to 255. For example, 12.34.5.6. So also this IP address, also this one are all valid IP address. On the other hand, if there is some string in one of the components, for example, 12.34.56, oops, and this is not a value address because of the string that at the last spot. And also for this guy has a 5 components, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components, and the last one, this one fall out from the range between 0 and 255. This is 425. This is all the invalid examples. So let's look at some more examples. 192.168.0.1. So this is valid. And also 0.0.0.0. This is valid as well. However, 0.1.1.1, that IP address, because so if we have a leading 0, but the subsequent component are not 0, so this is a false. Okay, that's another example that I will deal with in my code later on. And this is a valid, so is this. So the approach that we will deal with this problem is that first, this is one single string, and we can separate the entire string into an array using string.split, and the splitter is going to be a red dot. So basically, after we do that, we have a array that contains 4 components. The first component is 192, second component is 168, third component is 0, and the final component, the fourth component, is 1. And all the component will be a string, and then we have to convert that string to be integer, so that we can compare the integer to the eligible range from 0 and 255. And also we can use a Python function isDigit to check if that string is a digit or not. So, and for example, one of the components in here is a string, and then we will return a false. Okay, so this is a basic algorithm that I'm going to implement. At this point, feel free to pause this video and try yourself. So now let's walk through it. First, I have the IP array. So basically, I call the IP string .split. This is the splitter. So for example, the first one was 12.3.5.6, and after I call this function, will come back with me an array that's separated by the dot. So the first component is a 1, 2, second component is 3, 4, and third one is 5, and the 4.6. Everything in the array is a string. So we gotta be careful, this is a string. And if the length of the array is not equal to 4, and then return a false. So this is not an IP address. Okay. So, and then we look through this IP array. So for each of the components in the IP array, and before doing that, I would like to analyze the time complexity. So, and this is actually the most time-consuming part in the algorithm. Basically, we have to scan through each of the components in the IP address. So this takes a big O of n being the number of characters in the IP string. Okay, and then now let's move on to the for loop. So for each of the components in the IP array, if the given component that we're looking at is not an integer, it's not a digit, so and then we'll automatically stop the whole thing and return a false. So basically, this can filter out this one, right? Because the last component, this is not a digit. Okay, and then we convert the component into a integer. So I call it on use the Python built-in function int. So I call it the int. If the int is not between the eligible range from 0 to 255, and then they return a false. Okay. Otherwise, we just carry forward. And I have also little two lines in here. Basically, this filter out the edge case where the leading zero, right? So this is a leading zero. Sorry, I should have this one compared to a string. Okay. If this is a leading zero, right? So this is a OK IP address, and this is not OK address. So basically, you can sum them. So if we have a leading zero and then sum the whole thing, if that's still equal to zero, that means it's OK. Otherwise, if we have a leading zero and we sum the whole thing, it's not equal to zero, and that's not eligible. It's not a valid IP address. And if we pass all these conditions at the end, we return a true. Let's run it, and it works. Pass all the test cases. I think this is basically a more easy type of question, and this is a string plus an array type of question. I hope you find this video is helpful. If it is, please consider like and subscribe. That would be huge support. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, don't trust this, try yourself. Thank you so much for watching once again.